This is our great interview with Tenside. I so looked forward to this ever since I reviewed this album. I've been obsessed with this album. We have a great conversation with Daniel and Hanni all about the making of this and their LA connections and everything in between. Take it away. So I have a kind of a weird question right out of the box. I when he gave me you guys to review, it was you guys are right in my wheelhouse of everything I love, and I couldn't believe that you have this big discography and I missed it all. So, I was like so excited to interview you guys because I love what you do. I've had it on in the car. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I was doing like a little research on you guys, and you are not on Metal Archives. It's so weird. Of course, AC/DC isn't either. So
Yeah. Oh, very strange.
Yeah.
it's such weird gatekeeping. I don't get
The
it.
gatekeeping there is very odd.
Well, if AC/DC isn't on in the Metal Archives, then at least there seem to be a lot of bands missing because
Yeah.
AC/DC should be in there.
Well, here's the weird part: Crocus is, but AC/DC is not. So explain that one to me. So, I don't know how they're qualifying.
Yeah,
when I'm looking at things, I was like, how are they not on there?
Yeah.
This is so
It's
bizarre
weird
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, you found our music, which is pretty awesome, and even better than that you like it. So we're glad to be here.
Yeah. Where did the name Tenside come from? Where did you guys come up with that?
Oh, it's from way back in the days when we were young. And actually, it's like coming from Latin, and it stands for building something strong together. Everyone's going in the same direction, moving forward, stuff like this. It has nothing to do with the chemicals. So yeah, that's basically where it comes from. And
Okay.
yeah, we stick to the name since we're kids, or since I'm a kid with the band. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
And you even have that AC/DC font. So maybe that's that.
Yeah, I
right
picked up on
there.
that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have more things AC/DC. So we're using Shoot the Thrill as our live song, which comes up before we go on stage every
Oh,
time.
cool. Yeah.
So I'm super excited to see AC/DC this year at home here in Munich. They playing this massive tour, so I'm lucky enough to got a ticket. So yeah, can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love your you kind of have expanded in a new metal side, and from the earlier years. What it's so difficult to put you guys into a category. And there are times, especially during that one video, I almost expected you to break out in a rap dance. You were like so close with your. I was like, is he gonna rap? Because we're seeing Ashes to New Thursday, and they kind of have the double-sided. But what category would you put you guys into? Because some people are like, oh, it's groove metal, it's new metal, it's metalcore. What, in your opinion, would you pigeonhole yourself if you had to?
I start here, okay. So I would say basically we're just a modern metal band. So maybe it's this. So as a band, we always try to make new things and find fresh sounds, and trying to make it fresh with every new release we make. And yeah, so basically that's it. I mean, you have people like trying to tell you, oh, dude, these guys are a metalcore band, like you already said, or they're making doom metal or whatever. I mean, as long as those people like our music, I'm fine with it. So
Right. I've had a hard time thinking of other bands in Germany that play your style. Like, what are some that are playing like kind of that new slash groove style? Or are there any?
Oh, Hanni, you have any ideas?
I'm thinking pretty hard.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not just me.
Bands.
Okay.
So maybe, but I think it's a far shot. But I think Any Given Day kind of have similar stuff to our music.
Okay.
But since the last couple of years there haven't been any metal bands around here in Germany that do the same music that we do. I mean, of course, there are metal bands in all sorts of genres here in Germany, and very good ones as well. But I think there's no real comparison to those kind of bands.
That's true. Yeah.
It was hard for me. It was just like, because I was so surprised when because I was already into you, and then I was like, Germany, interesting. I don't think anything else sounds like that from there.
Right. You always think of like Scorpions and Creator and whatever else.
So
Yeah.
you seem to have a Los Angeles connection with your mixer as Joseph McQueen, and your connection with Sparrow Sound. How did that connection kind of happen?
So I go back and forth to Los Angeles basically since I'm a kid. And the original drummer of our band, Luis, he moved to Newport Beach. And that's where it all come from, I would say. Like, we are friends since we were kids. And then, yeah, my friend Luis, he moved to LA. And so I got the chance when I was a kid for the first time to go to California. And since that day, so I'm going back and forth and build a lot of work relationships and also a lot of friendships over there. Yeah, and when it comes to Joseph McQueen and Sparrow Sound, so yeah, we were trying to find the right person for the album mix, and a friend of us, he told us about the sound from these guys. And yeah, then when I was in LA, I met with them and went to breakfast. And yeah, then we just gave it a try with the first single, and it was badass right from the start. We had a great relationship, and it's our best sounding album to date, definitely. And it was always a dream of us to get a record mixed in the United States, simply because most of the people who work there as a mixer, they just make the sound we love so much as a band and we need. And yeah, that all worked great, and we're super happy with the results. So yeah.
You remember what it was like? I mean, I can only imagine the first time you went to LA as a boy, and you were used to the rain and the cold and the clouds, and you see those palm trees. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny, So when I was a kid, like really young, and I've watched all of those TV series like back in the days, and to me it was like, I really want to go there. That's the place I want to go. So when I was like 12 or 13 years old, I've told everyone in my family, so yo, I'm moving. I've got to go there. So
Yeah.
and then when I was like, I don't remember it exactly, but I think I was like 17 years old or maybe 18 when I was in LA for the first time. And I definitely remember this because I really love it there. And yeah, especially in California, it feels like it's my second home. So
Yeah, the first time I went, I got to go with a guy that had been working in studios there all his life. So he took me on the best tour. He was like, "You see that second floor building? You see that light right there? That's where the Stones tracked Angie." Like he had all this history. It was awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
yeah,
I learned
awesome,
so
man.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, it's just a great vibe, the whole city when it comes to the music thing and so on. I mean, it's just great. Yeah.
Really something. Yeah.
I really love the cover art for Come Alive Dying. It almost looks like a mummy and a vampire all wrapped in fun. And I did order a shirt, so hopefully it'll be here by the time the show comes out. I had to have it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's great
awesome.
Yeah.
How did you kind of come up with that, or did you have an artist, and did you kind of give him some guidance on what you wanted?
Yeah, basically it's I found this artist on Instagram, and he's called Maya Guy, and he's from the UK. And yeah, I've saw it and I was blown away from the work. And then I've texted him and like, so hey, I play in this band and we're looking to find an artwork for our next record. And he was like, so yo, what's the title? So could you send me some music? And yeah, I sent some stuff over, and he came back with this artwork. Like it was just the hat and I was blown away right from the start, and I knew like this is dark enough for the whole album, for everything. And yeah, it was a really great work relationship with him because he also made a lot of stuff for our videos and animations and so on. And yeah,
It fits really well because you can't pigeonhole what type of music it's going to sound like by that artwork. It could be anything. It's just dark and mysterious. It's great. It fits you guys so well.
awesome, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
So is it true that you record drums in a coal cellar in Frankfurt? And how in the world did you come up with that?
The studio is called Coal Cellar, if you would like translate it to English. But it's actually the surname of the dude who runs the studio. At least parts of it. It's a nice studio near of Frankfurt in the middle of Germany, and it's the second time we've been there. And for me personally, I think Christian, who runs the studio, is one of the best engineers when it comes to drums here in Germany. He makes drums sound huge right out of the box with no editing, and when it comes to editing afterwards, he does some special tricks that I think you can't get anywhere else in Germany. So hopefully for the next record we will go there as too.
That's cool.
Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, how's they do this in a coal mine?
But I guess it would be a cool experience to get into a coal cellar to record drums.
I know. I was like,
It would
wait.
be very reverby. Yeah.
Probably.
So I loved the promotion that you had with the Tenside tattoo things. So how did that come about, and how did the promotion go?
Yeah, basically our bass player Jonas, he's a tattoo artist here in Germany. And we thought we would like to give something back to the people who support the band. So we put a couple of vouchers into the box set of the record.
Yeah.
And like as a raffle, you know. And yeah, we promoted a little bit. And yeah, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, there was one of the first guys who got one of those vouchers. And he got a tattoo from Jonas, so it's pretty awesome.
great.
And
Very original. Yeah. Yeah.
I also thought maybe you could put it in there as a pattern. If you couldn't get over to Jonas, maybe we could go to our local guy and just give him the pattern.
Yeah. Exactly.
You might end up being bigger than Dystopia for tattoos.
Right.
So I love the themes behind Come Alive Dying. I love the lyrics. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid I haven't been alive. What kind of inspired that sentiment?
Basically, when we wrote the record, it was like really the darkest time of my life, you know. We had the COVID situation all around the world. Everyone was fucked, you know. Our last record, we couldn't tour with it, and then my dad passed away, and it was like the craziest time ever in my life. And yeah, so basically, I mean, just from the mood, that's where it all comes from. And yeah, so basically that's all I can say. So I was trying to find something which is deep enough to transport my real feelings for it. And yeah.
It's tough to lose a dad. I went through the same thing shortly before, and it's just like,
Sorry to hear that. Yeah.
rudderless, you know. It was always, you know, at least for me, that was my touchstone. And it's like, how do I do it without him?
Yeah.
But
Very tough.
you manage. So I love the one thing you had on Instagram was a guy opening up the cage and the big cat like tackling him. That was good. But I really do love the cat and metal montage. Do you guys have cats, or were you just happen to be on his montage?
Our bassist has two cats. But that montage comes from that Instagram site. They hit us up and asked if they asked for permission if they could use one of our songs. And we were like, yeah, that sounds funny. Let's go for it. And he sent over the video and we cracked up in laughter. It was
It's
just
hysterical.
great.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We had 4 cats. We're down to 3. We lost 1, but we could definitely.
I like this. I like the one cat that doesn't sweat the alligator. He's like, bring it on. I don't sweat you. That's my favorite part.
That's really good. Yeah.
Fearless.
So, I mean, their site is awesome. Like Cats and Metal
is.
it's so great. I love it.
I'm always fascinated by that.
Yeah.
So another favorite track of ours was Pitch and Gold. Love it. I love the crown me, clown me. I love it. Is it about like kind of like a toxic relationship where you're like, you're hurting me, come here, you're hurting me.
Yeah, you could put it in this direction, and also like when it comes to drugs or something. Basically that's where the idea comes from. And I filmed the video in LA River, or parts of it, and to transport the message, so we colored all the water in black, like, which is the pitch, you know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, the track itself, it's totally different than, for example, Come Alive Dying. It's so much more clean vocals in it, and it's a total different style. But when we wrote the record, we just like, yeah, that's the song, we like it, and why shouldn't we put out something which is different for us musically? Yeah.
It's a really solid track. And then you guys did the remix. I think when I first heard that, I'm like, this might be the first danceable Tenside one. This could go in a club. When you did the mix with Sardonic, I was like, because it just added a little bit of that industrial thing in there. How did you come to work with him and decide to do a remix?
Yeah, we already did one remix with Sardonic back in the days from the previous record. And he's just a friend, you know, he's a total nice guy, totally into it. And yeah, I love the remixes, like this bass and metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were chatting, and then like, so we had this new record coming up, and yeah, my friend Sardonic, he was like, hey bro, I love this song, can I do another remix? And for sure, yeah. So basically it's like pretty easy, and I'm super happy with the result. And it's great to make these remixes, because you can reach new people, like, yeah. And sometimes you find people, they like, for example, metal, but also drum and bass or EDM or whatever. And I think it's a great way to reach new people and transport a band song in a totally new direction, you know.
It's a great way to keep, because you got to keep feeding the algorithm, the Spotify algorithm too. It's really good for that, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then kind of frantically in pen, because you just sprung this on me this week, was the Come Alive Dying remix with Pandora. I also like both of these, because you kept the core the same. Like you can still really hear the bass, you can hear it, but yet it adds a little ta 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 ta, you know, jazz it up a little bit. So I couldn't decide which version I liked better though.
Sounds good, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's a DJ.
Yeah, actually, he's also from Germany. He's a DJ and also a producer. And he already toured in the US. And yeah, we got connected by Sardonic, actually, because they know each other also. And it's always a small circle, you know. So yeah, we just had a great meeting, and I think the Come Alive Dying remix is something totally different to the song itself. But for some reason it's great, and it's like really really heavy. So yeah.
The instrumental version, I could almost see like, over like movie credits or something,
Yeah.
like some Mad Max thing.
Yeah, cinematic.
Yeah, that was wild. So yeah, I was just like, wow, they just did this week. And you were saying that video was shot in Hollywood. Did you, the part where the band is like fenced in, was that tough? And where in the world did you find a payphone in LA?
Actually, yeah. The paid phone, we found one in Pasadena, and I smashed it. So I'm the one who smashed this public phone. Because and a friend of mine who's a videographer, he did all the video work with me in downtown LA and by night and in LA River. It was quite an experience, I would say. And yeah, but it was a great trip. So I was there and I was in the studio, and so it makes sense that we found this public phone in Pasadena because we Joseph mixed the record in Pasadena. So it's a cool thing. And yeah, the band performance was shot here in Germany. Yeah. So
It's so much better to punctuate it. We were watching this crazy English series on Netflix called Baby Reindeer. And the one guy, he's getting harassed on his cell phone. And when he gets mad, he's like, you know, fuck. And then you have to go, thunk. So it's so much easier to go, you know, it's not as easy to hang up, you know, with anger on your cell phone when you
Yeah.
yeah.
love it. So my other favorite, and I actually love running to this one, is Impending Doom. Really heavy, really great. So it's kind of a little apocalyptic. What do you think are our biggest like apocalyptic threats, like zombie deer or war or invasions or just people, in your opinion?
I think it's just people, basically. You don't need zombies or other horrible stuff. I think people can ruin the world best. I mean, as the state the world is in right now, it's just like a matter of time if it all when it all collapses. At least that's what I'm thinking at the moment. But of course we're hoping for the best. So even
Yeah.
with people on Earth, we're hoping the Earth will not stop spinning.
Yeah.
So you worked with John Henry on that. So how did you kind of have him come in as helping with the vocals on that one?
Basically, John lives in Germany. He moved to Munich, I think 3 or 4 years ago. He found the love of his life here in Munich. That's the reason for his change. He was in search for a space to rehearse his solo stuff and to rehearse some Darkest Hour stuff. And since Munich isn't that big of a city, we heard about it and we were like, yeah, we have free space at our rehearsal space. So if he wants to, we can meet up, and if the space is okay for him, we can share it. And that's basically it. We're sharing a space together, became friends because of sharing a space. And when writing the record, we thought it might be a good idea to ask John, because we're all heavy Darkest Hour fans. We love that band. We love his singing. And we thought it'd be a great fit for Impending Doom. And it turned out to be awesome. He was so kind to not just lay vocals on that track. He also took the time out of his day to be in the music video with us. Yeah, that's great. He even joined the show that we had in Munich in January.
Oh, wow.
In support of the release for the new record. We asked him and he was, yeah, dude, I'll come over. I'll do my vocals live with you on stage. And that was a very cool moment.
Munich's a great city. They have a corkscrew museum there.
We do.
Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if it's still there. It's some of it's like all these corkscrews from throughout history, and some of them are like huge from like the medieval era. I guess to open up a bottle of wine was a really big production back then. Anyway. Yeah.
That's crazy. I love the video for that one too, with all the sand and the mysterious hooded lady, and it was great. Was that a hard one to shoot? It seems with the pendulum and the sand, like it might be difficult.
At least it was very cold inside this huge thing where we filmed it. And yeah, it was quite an experience, I would say, but it turned out great. And the guy who made the video, he's called Milkowitsky. he basically does all the videos for us for this record. And yeah, so we had John with us, and it was just a crazy shooting, and it turned out like really great. And afterwards, we did a couple of animations and so on for it. So yeah, it's all in all a great thing. Yeah.
Did you know the woman in the video, or was she like an actress?
Jonas
She-
knows her.
Yeah, she's an
but
actress. Yeah.
she's an actress, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. And incidentally, a local brewery makes a beer here called Impending Doom, which is also really good. So maybe you could have Impending Doom beer. I would buy that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great name. Yeah.
All right. Also loved Shadow to Shine. Such explosive and so much rage behind that. Do you have to like think of certain emotions to kind of perform? Because it's so angry. Where do you have to go to kind of find that?
I think you have to go to like to being fucked up enough to already to get into a better mood and into a better place. And to me, it's like a really motivational song, also with the lyrics. So I've started to do a lot of sports during COVID to find a way to motivate myself without playing live shows. And basically that's where it comes from. And yeah, I mean, it's heavy and it's fast, and it was the first single out of the record. Yeah, it's definitely a good one. Yeah.
That's another crazy one in that video because the explosions on the screen behind you look like they're coming out.
Yeah.
Like, were they actually like some pyrotechnics, or is that just an optical illusion?
Actually, it's the guy who made the artwork, the Maya guy. He was the one who made all the VFX kind of things that it's looking like this, that it's actually happening,
Yeah.
But all the stuff was running on a screen when we record the video, and afterwards they edited it. And yeah, so I'm also pretty stoked on it. It's just great. I love the coloring, and yeah, and that it's like really fast. Yeah.
It's great the way that festival culture has kind of come back after COVID. I didn't think we were ever going to get back there, but it seems like it's stronger than ever. Is that kind of how it seems in Europe?
Yeah, at the moment it starts like we have so many concerts and festivals and stuff coming back. Like it's crazy, so many events going on. And yeah, I'm just happy to see it because that was the darkest time ever, and to yeah, I mean it's actually it's just a couple of years ago already. And so it seems crazy, but it seems like we're going back to normal, or we are back already. And I really hope that there's a lot of things coming for all the cultural and musical people and scene and workers and everyone involved. So yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, we have Maryland Death Fest coming up at end of the month here in Baltimore. So glad to have that back. I mean, we went last year, and I work for this crazy doctor, and his wife made us all wear masks all day until last month. She finally took it off because it was her son's bar mitzvah, and then she said we didn't have to. I was like, really? That's what we were doing this for?
Yes, the states had to wear masks way more than anyone else. Yeah.
Oh God, it was so annoying.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Oh, well.
Yeah. No thanks.
All right, so we do a game on the show. So I have 100 random questions in front of me, but don't worry, each of you are only going to have to answer 3. So I want you each to pick 3 numbers between 1 and 100.
I take 8, 17, and 87.
87, love it. All righty.
I'll take 9, 88. And I wonder what question 100 is.
All right.
Okay.
Tough, bro.
All right, so we'll start with number 9. What skill helps you most in your career?
That's tough. I don't know if it's really a skill, but it definitely helps to have a lot of humor when you're out on tour, because sometimes tour days get pretty rough, and you tend to overreact about like little stuff that doesn't work during the day. So being humorous helps a lot of times just to keep your sanity.
That's a good answer.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you have
God,
to
yes.
you have to have a sense of humor. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, number 88. If you had to compete in an Olympic sport, which one would you choose?
I'm not the sportiest guy out of the bunch, but I guess if I had to, um, I'd go with soccer just because it's like a German or a European thing.
Yeah.
Is it Olympic?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah?
not, yeah,
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
Okay.
World Cup for it, so it's kind
I
of
remember reading this story where I think it was Steve Harris from Iron Maiden was saying that one of his favorite achievements was they sold out. I want to say it was like Wembley Arena, but it was not for music. It was because of their soccer league. Like Maiden had put together a soccer team with all different musicians and stuff, and they sold out without playing a note just from soccer. And I
that's
thought,
crazy.
wow, that's when you've really made it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's crazy.
Yeah.
100. Who is the worst teacher that you ever had and why?
It depends if it's in school days or if it's for the instrument. I really haven't had a teacher for my drums. I think the first half year that I started playing the drums, I had like a little bit of teaching going on, and that guy was great. So he's definitely not the worst. When it comes to school, I had a really bad math teacher in 8th grade back in the day, and I blame my lack of math skills on him since that day.
You never forget that sort of thing. Yeah.
And I always thought most drummers had to be really good at math. I guess it's a different thing.
You
I
should
suck at
assume.
math
I'm
also.
way better with languages and geographics. I'm not the math guy or the chemics guy. I don't get numbers in the correct order if I need to.
I always got stuck with calculus. I'm like, no, approaching X, call me when it gets there. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's really weird. All right, number 8. Be honest. How do you feel about the Kardashians?
Well, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think Kylie's pretty hot. That's it.
I haven't watched many episodes. I forget which one it was. She was giving birth and she like reached down and like pulled her own baby out. I was like, how do you do that?
Wow.
What a beast.
I never saw that.
I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Wow. Okay.
Number 88. Let's see.
87 must be.
Oh,
or is
sorry,
it-
87.
yeah.
Have you ever made a purchase that you instantly regretted?
Pretty sure, yeah. So it's just hard to remember which one. Yeah, basically that's all I can say, I guess.
We bought a sump pump one that immediately didn't work.
I was thinking my divorce lawyer. She was horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, we wrote all kinds of bad reviews on that one.
Yeah.
All right, and we went with 17. 17, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you good at trivia contests?
At trivia contests? Okay. I think I'm not. I suck at that 100%. So yeah, we also don't have any covers with Tenside. So I'm not the tribute guy, and also yeah, so I'm trying to push in this band since several years to get at least one cover version of something done, but it seems to be we are the band to never make any covers. So yeah.
Is it because you can't agree on it, or how come?
yeah, it's just hard to find the right one, you know. It's like I mean, all of those classic tracks that are covered like 100 million times already. And I really don't think that we are a band who needs to make a cover out of like The Weeknd or Britney Spears or whatever kind of
Right.
pop things. So that's just not our style. So yeah, maybe one day there's the chance to make an Ozzy Osbourne cover or something,
Yeah.
something really cool, you know. So I
Do a
would love
little
that.
War Pigs remix. I'd like to hear that
Yeah,
one.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so it looks like you are set to play the Heavy Days Festival in May. What are you looking most forward to checking out there?
Mm, basically, that's a like a smaller festival in the near of our hometown. It's the kickstart for the summer run we're doing, and by next week we will post a couple of more summer dates. So we will be around in Europe a lot in the summer, and I mean it's just great to go out there again and play and meet all of those people and from people from other bands and like just having a good time and being back in the bus, back in the van.
Yeah.
And yeah, so really looking forward to it. So
What are your sleeping accommodations like? Do you sleep in the van or?
Most
we
of
ne
the times we have hotel rooms,
yeah.
because like we're a bunch of chubby guys, except our guitarist. So sleeping in a van would be more uncomfortable than for other people. So normally we have hotel rooms, and on longer runs and bigger shows, we try to get a nightliner, just to make sure everyone's well rested for the shows. Yeah, but mostly it's like hotel rooms, or if the show is like close to Munich, or like in a drivable distance, we tend to drive home nowadays since we're not the youngest anymore.
Right.
Being home is pretty cool. So if we can make it happen, we're going to drive home.
Yeah, I was fascinated by some of the episodes of that, the digital tour bus, where they have these bands that go, oh, yeah, we might not get a shower for 2 or 3 days. We sleep in the van. I'm like, God, what must that smell like?
Yeah, I mean, I know all of those situations like from back in the days when we were a really young band too. And I think it's you have to you have to yeah, like how shall I say it?
It's
This
like paying the
needs
dues, paying your
yeah,
dues.
so this needs to happen if you're a young band. So yeah, that's where it all starts and yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you could, and maybe you both have different answers to this, but if you could put Tenside on tour with 3 other bands, whether they're existing currently or in the past, who would you put yourself on tour with?
That's a
You
tough
go
one.
first. You go first,
Um,
Hanni.
that's a tough one. I'm trying to think if it should be a lineup. I'm excited to see the other bands, or if it should be a lineup where we really fit in. But I think because we love to play really big shows, I think if out of nowhere there was like a Nirvana reunion because Kurt Cobain came back to life, I'd put Nirvana on the bill. I think we all would love to definitely have Metallica on that run, just for the sake of being a stadium band and such a staple for so long time. And as a third band, just to throw in another style of metal, I think I'd go with the Deftones because everyone
Oh, wow.
in our band loves the Deftones, and I just can imagine it'd be pretty great to share stages with Gino Marino like for 4 weeks straight.
Yeah. Those are 3 great choices. Yeah.
God, yeah.
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 So my bill is pretty easy. Like
I think I know parts of it.
oh yeah. So it's definitely Rage Against the Machine. It's Korn. And I also go with the Deftones. And if it's not allowed to take the Deftones, because Hanni already took it, Then I would say Soundgarden, because to me
Oh.
personally, Chris Cornell is the greatest singer ever, ever, and ever. And yeah, I'm just a huge fan, and I grow up with this music. So, and yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a tour with like you and Unprocessed. I'd like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I love the sound. So it's just the other day I showed a video to Hanni in our rehearsal space. They have this track which is called Hell,
Oh, I
and
love
I
that.
love yeah, and I love the intro. It's so dark. Like when he's starting with the guitar, it's that heavy, and they are
They
such
make
a
me want to quit the guitar. Like I
yeah.
can't watch it. I'm just like,
I
what's he
already
doing?
quit.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's playing so good.
Yeah.
So at the moment for me, it's like the most promising band out of Germany, definitely. They play so good, and to me, it's like it's so nice to see that there are a bunch of musicians out there. They still care about being like really good, being better than everyone else, just nailing it on every instrument in the band, and I really appreciate to see stuff like this. And I'm a fan of them, definitely. I haven't seen the band live yet, but Hell is one of my favorite metal tracks at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first ran across them, I looked at their picture. I was like, is this a boy band? And then I pulled up their t-shirts and they're all satanic. I'm like, no, they're not a boy band.
That's the thing. You're like, God, they're such good musicians, and damn it, they're good looking too. It's just not fair, you know?
Yeah, nowadays, I mean, metal is coming up now, so
Yeah.
I think it's good to see stuff like this. That's very important for the music and for the whole genre. Because in my opinion, metal is not only like people in dark clothes and long hair and all of those things you know from TV. Metal is so much more than that, and it's an attitude, and that's the most important. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might stick you with as everything unfolds too, just for selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But like their Unprocessed is actually over here now, but unfortunately for me, they're hitting like Philadelphia and then skipping us and going to DC. So I was like, damn it.
Yeah. It happens.
But I'd
Pretty
love
sure
to see
you
you
will.
guys over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
we're working on it, and trying to make it happen. Maybe later this year, or maybe next year. So we're trying to get all those touring things together at the moment. We have a lot of updates coming by next week, like the biggest announcements we have made in a while. And we're really working on it. And trust me when I say we won't stop with this band until we've played at least one North American tour. We're working on it, and we will come for sure. So yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
I figured with their already, since you're already connected, probably already have visas and all that, because that always seems to be the biggest challenge.
Yeah, nowadays it's like with the visas for European artists going to the US, it's like really expensive. Plus, you need to have a lawyer to make it happen in time, because if you don't have any lawyer, you won't make any step.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I've heard. Yeah.
yeah, this whole process, it takes forever, and sometimes you see those news when European bands go on tour and start in North America, then sometimes one member is missing because one visa isn't finished in time. And
Yeah.
it's I remember like I don't know, like 8 or 10 years ago, I saw Why She Sleeps at the Vans Warped Tour in California, and they had to play the first couple of shows without their singer. And yeah, I mean, this is happening all the time.
Yeah.
Seems to be a bigger problem, or process kind of thing, which takes forever. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why when it comes to touring in North America and all these other parts of the world, it's always a hustle, and it takes a lot of time to make it happen. But it's always a great trip, and we really can't wait to come over there. Yeah.
We'll be there.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.